Smoky from Hey Girl Hey, and today we are making one of my favorite new recipes that I developed for the website. I knew it needed to be a video immediately. This is my smoked brisket taco with a Mexican street corn salsa. So many layers of flavor here, but it's incredibly simple. Just a few easy steps and you could be eating tacos just like these. Let's do it. Okay, step one for brisket tacos is prepping our brisket. I actually love this recipe if you have any leftover brisket as well. You just reheat it at the end and you're ready to make and assemble your tacos. But if you're starting from scratch, you want a good 3 to 5 pound brisket flat. These usually come trimmed pretty well from the store. Season with my spicy sweet rub. You can buy this in the store or I have a recipe on my website. You can make it yourself. It's a perfect balance of barbecue flavor with a little bit of heat that's amazing in these tacos. Put it on your smoker, 275. You want to give it a good 5 to 6 hours until it's about 170 to 175 internal temperature. Wrap it in some butcher paper. Continue cooking until that brisket is anywhere between 205 and 210. Feels probe tender and a little bit squishy to the touch. We've been through all the brisket steps. It's resting. It's almost ready for tacos, which means we need to start prepping our toppings. I'm going to be making a Mexican street corn style salsa. So I've had a brisket taco with Mexican street corn on it at a barbecue competition, and it was one of the most delicious things I'd ever eaten. So I was determined to recreate it in my backyard. So we're starting with a couple of ears of corn. I'm just gonna roast these off on the grill to get that traditional Mexican street corn style char and flavor. And then we'll come back and mix all of the ingredients. It's super simple. While I'm waiting for that corn to cook, we're gonna put the rest of the ingredients in our bowl. I've got some grape or cherry tomatoes, quartered. I like these kind of bite-sized. Some red onion, and some jalapeno. This is kind of what takes this from a classic Mexican street corn to more of a salsa. And then we're gonna add in those classic Mexican street corn style ingredients. I've got some Cotija cheese, some mayo, some diced cilantro, some fresh lime juice, and then some of that spicy sweet rub that's on the brisket. This is kind of the flavor that's gonna tie it all together. Just a couple of teaspoons. We give that a good mix. Just toss it together. Then we'll toss that charred corn in there and it'll be ready to top our tacos. Okay, corn has some great color. Just gonna cut that off the cob. Get it into our salsa. All right, that looks and smells amazing. It's time to chop our brisket for our tacos. Now, where this is just a brisket flat, it's usually a little bit leaner than if you're doing a whole fatty brisket point, but that is totally fine. Because we're gonna chop it and top it with this beautiful creamy salsa. It's gonna have a ton of flavor. Oh, that feels so nice for just a brisket flat. Now, normally when I'm telling you to do a brisket flat, I'm going to tell you to just slice it against the grain. But where we're going to be chopping this, doesn't really matter what direction you go in first. I just like to cut it into slices and then turn it 90 degrees and chop it into bite-sized pieces. Look at the bend and bounce just on a brisket flat. That's beautiful. I'm happy with that one. I'm actually even gonna toss this with a little bit more of that spicy sweet rub just to get flavor all the way through on all the pieces of this brisket. Time to assemble our tacos. Get a healthy portion of that chopped brisket. A spoonful of that street corn style salsa. And then the piece that I think ties it all together is my Texas style barbecue sauce. You can pick up a bottle of this in the Hey Girl Hey store. Or I have a recipe on my website if you want to make it yourself. It's the perfect kind of zippy sauce for brisket. Just a little drizzle. And then if you want, you can give it a squeeze of fresh lime or some extra cilantro. And that is a beautiful bite of food. When I first tested this recipe, I immediately put it on our video production schedule because I knew that you would love this one as much as we did. So I hope you give this recipe a try. If you do, leave a review. Let me know. Post a photo or a video on social media and tag me so I can cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue hero. See you next time. Yeah. tender, smoky brisket, just the right amount of heat. That Mexican street corn salsa is creamy, sweet, bright, delicious, and the Texas sauce just ties it all together. That is one fantastic taco.